Welcome to Pod Caviar. I'm Tony. In the studio with me once again is Graham from 1 Gram Army.
I know it's sort of becoming a regular thing. Hi, folks.
Yeah.
It's almost like we do these podcasts on the same day.
Yeah. In the same place. It's kind of weird. Yeah. But listen, hey, this podcast is not, we're not going to talk about September 11th. We're not going to continue the trail of terror. We almost averted disaster in the studio just now.
Just now. Almost, but we're good.
Thanksgiving is coming up next week, and we're going to talk about food.
Delicious food.
Yeah. And I know you talked about, we talked about turkey a lot on your previous episode. If you haven't checked out 1 Gram Army, please do so right now. We do a lot of companion episodes back and forth.
Yeah.
And this is pretty much a continuation of that.
One normally bleeds into another a little bit. Usually, though, your podcasts are quite structured.
Yeah.
And I am happy to be here, though, to do an episode of your podcast that isn't about something dark and horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we will laugh the same amount as we do.
Yeah. The laughter will remain.
Yeah, but I always have a much different feeling after we do your podcast, because I always feel sometimes like, oh, Tony was trying to do a podcast about the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
And I brought up Who's Bean Fartine and Souk Madik, and
we still get the message across.
The job gets done.
Yeah, the job gets done.
If there's realistically, man, that's my only concern, is I don't want you to leave here like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, I was trying to do an episode of History on Fire here, and this guy said Souk Madik.
No, I mean, our what is it? Our sense of humor is not for anybody who is soft at all.
No.
Yeah. Just to go ahead and, if you haven't noticed already, if this is your first episode of Pod Caviar, please understand that, yes, we make crude jokes. We have a crazy sense of humor, but we do have a structure, and we talk about shit. Yeah, we get there. We always get there.
Like you said, it's not a straight line.
No.
But we always get there.
Yeah.
And that's something to be said, too. It's not like, when I say we laughed during episode about the Oklahoma City bombing, we didn't laugh about what happened.
No.
We're not monsters.
No.
We were just two dudes sitting in a room having a conversation, and occasionally something funny gets said.
Yeah, I will say that ever since we did the Ryder truck episode, I've seen nothing but Ryder trucks around town. I think they're coming for me. Yeah, I think they're coming for me.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
Well, and you already know what sort of damage they can do. They're clearly aware.
We already know what they're capable of, because they do work. Yeah.
They get around.
Yeah, they do. All right. So Thanksgiving is coming up next. Right? Yeah, that's a perfect example of it. Yeah.
It wasn't mean.
Right.
It wasn't mean. It was just an opportunity to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's, you got to jump on those.
So, in the next couple weeks, if you ever hear a special report of a Ryder truck exploding and,
where you live.
Probably me. Yeah, it's probably me.
I would immediately be suspicious.
But we're going to talk about turkey and Thanksgiving and all the shit. I don't like cranberry sauce.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they're just going to jump right into that shit.
Eventually, at some point in the history of this podcast, it would be inevitable that we would come to a crossroads where we would disagree on something, right?
Yeah.
Because, listen, for listeners, we're not, we don't agree with each other out of like a necessity to feel like we're agreeing with each other, right? So you would assume at some point there would be a crossroads. This is not it. I fucking hate cranberry sauce. I think it's whack.
Yeah.
I think it's unnecessary.
It is.
And I think the people who are like, oh, but it reminds me of my childhood where it's shaped like the can and it sits on the pan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it still sucked then.
Yeah, it sucked back then. It still tasted like shit back then, and it still tastes like shit now. There hasn't been some sort of revolution of flavor.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone through Flavor Town and been remodeled, so to speak.
If I can, an incredibly fat friend of mine, I kind of wish I had mentioned this on my podcast, because someone who listens to this podcast mentioned in the comments on one of my episodes of podcasts where I was talking about how horrible cranberry sauce is. He says, I love it. I put it on everything.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Wow.
Which in some respects changed the theory in my mind, because to me, I had always eaten it by itself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then I think about it as far as taste is concerned, like what if you mushed it into the dressing? What if you like smeared it on but it doesn't taste good.
No, it doesn't.
So how would that accentuate?
It doesn't. It's not like cranberry juice where I don't like cranberry juice by itself, but if you put vodka in it, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, okay, yeah, we can work with that.
That's interesting too, because there's no way to booze up cranberry
No,
sauce.
there's not. No,
Yeah,
you have a can of gelatin cranberry, and that's it. That's all you have. That is the start and the finish line right there. There's no, I mean, I guess you could put it in something else, but then if you have something that you don't like the taste of by itself, would you really devalue something else by putting it into said food item?
Yeah, you're eating something you don't like, and then you put something disgusting on top of it.
Right.
Do two wrongs make a right.
Listen, Graham and I, we're putting together plans for Thanksgiving, a joint Thanksgiving, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be something else.
It'd be cool if we can do a joint episode where we just upload them on both of our channels. And talk about shit.
I've been considering rolling around the idea in my head of us doing a live.
Yeah, the logistics is what.
Yeah, I think I can put it. I think I've got it figured though. I think I can output the mixing board into a laptop, and then we could do, and then that way the podcast audio would be live.
Yeah.
It's possible.
But you were talking about doing instead of turkey, you were talking about doing chicken wings. Yeah, and your rationale behind that. If you could, please go through that again, because I want my listeners to understand what you were saying, because I agree with it 100%.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting you mentioned that, because you were a tough sell on it initially, just as anyone would be.
Yeah.
Because my suggestion was on my podcast last year, after I had lived through another hell year of dealing with a turkey, was instead of turkey, how about chicken wings?
Yeah.
And a lot of people balk at that idea, obviously, and I can appreciate that. It's not traditional, you know, especially the kind of people who think the tradition is having a giant glob of blue, like red blob on a plate that's shaped like a can somehow says holidays to them.
People, they live and die by that.
It's difficult. Yeah. A big strand of the idea of your podcast since I've been on it is challenging what people consider to be traditional ideology, how they view the world.
Oh yeah, and Thanksgiving is no different.
Absolutely, and it's truly traditional. It's once a year, and it reminds them of their family. So they scoff at this idea of having chicken wings instead of turkey, right? But think about it. How many other times a year do you like turkey?
Right.
The answer is 0, possibly 1. Possibly Christmas.
1,
if you're really a glutton.
That's a huge possible.
Yeah, and if you're a huge glutton for punishment, maybe you enjoy turkey on Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. But so you're talking about 1.5 times a year. You really want an entire turkey, and you want to deal with the road to hell that is cooking an entire turkey. I mentioned on my podcast, I don't want to go too deep into it because hopefully I can challenge some people to go back and listen to that. But the moral of the story is the turkey is a horrible devil bird.
Yeah.
Birthed from the bowels of hell to mock us for our persecution and genocide of the Native Americans.
True.
And so this bird has found its way into our kitchens and on our grills and in our smokers and onto YouTube and into all of this panic surrounding like this meal that has to be prepared around dinner time, across football and across neighbors drinking and our family members drinking and everyone acting crazy, and you have to like present this bird that is unforgiving to any. There's so many rules that can be broken that ruin a turkey.
Yeah.
And those rules are also not very clearly defined.
Talking about the margins are so small.
Yeah.
You know, the margins are
and
there.
If you
sometimes they're non-existent.
Yeah, if you do your research, those margins widely shift.
Yeah.
And so I said, fuck all that.
Yeah.
How about chicken wings? Because you know how often you like chicken wings? Anytime.
All the time.
Anytime they're available.
Yeah.
You want chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I even suggested to you, we'll smoke the chicken wings. They'll have that festive flavor to them.
Yeah.
But then we'll toss them in delicious sauces. And I didn't even think about it till just now. We're watching football.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then wings go with football.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
There's
we don't even have to explain that shit. Yeah.
There's billion-dollar industries dedicated to cramming chicken wings down people's throats while they watch football.
Yeah. So, I mean, more on board with it now. Like I said, when I first heard of it, I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but okay. But yeah, I mean, I understand your rationale. I get it. And as I explained before, I never had a good experience with turkey as a kid. When I became an adult, I sat down one day and I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm going to make it to a level of acceptance where it's consistently good, and I could tweak it here and there, try things here and there, but I'm never going to step back. It's always going to be forward.
Right.
There's nobody that's never made a perfect turkey. I don't even think that's attainable.
Absolutely not.
But you just get to the point to where it is good enough to where it's not dry. Nobody has eaten everything on their plate but the turkey, and they're fucking placing it face down in the trash, Yeah, absolutely. But, and I think I've gotten there. Especially with frying turkeys, I've done that before. Roasting turkey, I've done that. But this year, if I don't get a fryer, I want to roast a turkey, a small turkey, just so I can try something. And what I came across,
I would give you a Cornish game hen to try it. We got time for that, Jet.
What I came across was if you use flavored butter, and you actually separate the skin from the meat of the turkey, and you slide the butter inside of there, it should keep it moist. I came across a recipe for pepperoni butter.
Oh, I do remember you mentioning pepperoni butter.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try that.
Okay, now can I offer a suggestion?
What's up?
You can get a skinned, like a turkey breast that has the skin on it.
Yeah.
Which I've heard a lot of people are going to.
I've done that before too.
When it comes to the turkey, so I think maybe just devil's advocate, if you're gonna roast it, you're in much less danger of losing moisture. Because really, what killed me on turkey was trying to smoke them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because I've smoked a lot of things. I've smoked briskets, beef, beer can chickens, things that have gotten frustrating, things that have plateaued off, but nothing quite like that stupid bird.
Right.
And it's hard when you're in your like fifth hour after when you thought it was done.
Yeah.
And you're like, all these thoughts are rushing through your mind. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze. What comes out the other end is good turkey.
Yeah. And you can go through all that for somebody to taste it and be like, sorry.
And what's good turkey compared to good brisket?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's mine.
But I think that we've gotten to the point to where if somebody comes to your Thanksgiving dinner, you don't have turkey, is it really a showstopper? Are they really going to fucking get up in arms and leave?
See, that's why I'm glad you're my Thanksgiving guest this year. I think this is an important aspect of what's going on.
Even if you didn't say the chicken wing thing, if I came over here and I was like, "Hey, where's the turkey?" You'd be like, "Oh, we don't do turkey here," and I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I don't think because I completely understand how much of a pain in the ass turkey is.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a dick move, but I think that it would even be acceptable if someone showed up to my house for Thanksgiving and I was like, "Well, all we have are all these bomb ass sides." Like, here's what we're going to do for Thanksgiving. We're going to eat macaroni and cheese and collard greens and green bean casserole and squash casserole and all this other shit. And then we're going to have desserts.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to go to sleep.
Right.
Even that would probably not bother anybody.
No.
I feel like the turkey, like I said, is directly a punishment for Americans.
No, it is.
For what the holiday stands for. And dealing with that turkey is like, the universe is one day of being like, look, pay attention to what you've done here. And try to cook this turkey.
You painted yourself into this corner. Now, here's what you have to deal with.
And as an American in 2018, I'm like, hey, folks, doesn't have to be this way.
No, it doesn't.
You can still be informed. You can still be knowledgeable about why Thanksgiving is a holiday. And we could just eat chicken wings and watch football. And think about the time it saves. Time it saves.
Oh, yeah.
What's football starts at like noon.
That's true.
And this year, both of our teams are playing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Consecutively. Bears are playing the Lions.
Yep. And Cowboys playing the Redskins.
Yeah, and these are both divisional matchups.
Yeah,
with
so like huge games,
implications.
Yeah. Very huge, especially after today.
These are those rare Thanksgivings where football is important.
Yeah,
and it's not just the last place Cowboys or last place Lions playing someone else.
Right. Yeah.
Or just a continuation of one of Tony Romo's many meltdowns.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking. It's big.
So chicken wings.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm still gonna do the turkey thing here. I'm not gonna get, like I said, I'm not gonna get a huge
think
turkey.
A breast though would be.
Yeah, the breast or just a small one. Yeah, normally we have the small ones with the fucking. Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's a turkey the size of a chicken, meaning they killed a baby turkey.
Yeah,
and then they were like, "Hey, here you go." Yeah,
well, that's how I feel about Cornish game hen.
Yeah, but Cornish hens are different than chickens, aren't they?
They're saying it's all just because it's all white meat.
Really?
But I think that's it.
No, they come with the little fucking legs on them and shit.
Yeah. No, it's like a chicken.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
not, but it's more white.
As far as the size of these birds are concerned, you're going down.
No, I'm more excited for using the pepperoni butter than I am the turkey.
I knew it was about the pepperoni butter, so you just get a breast.
You get a breast. But as long as I got the cavity, I got the pepperoni butter. I can put it underneath the skin. I take a fucking onion, I slice it in half, put it in there. As the onion cooks, it'll fucking moisturize the meat too.
Absolutely.
You got the pepperoni, but I mean, look. It's on paper. It sounds amazing, right?
No, the pepperoni butter thing is intriguing.
Yeah.
But see, what you're doing there is introducing something fantastic,
right?
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
Into that shitty bird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's
it'll
kind of
probably
like a blank canvas. So
yeah, it'll make the bird. Yeah. It could potentially make the bird better.
Yeah.
My theory is the pepperoni butter stands out in the outer layer of the skin and like the first like outer layer of the turkey.
Fuck yeah.
I think the turkey is shitty enough to block it at its insides.
Which would suck, but still, even if you get a taste of it, it's worth a try.
It's worth
and even if you get a taste of it, then, you know.
At this point, I kind of just want a spoonful of melted pepperoni
butter. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm a guy who deals a lot in compound butters. With like
I mean, but the recipe is really easy because it's just butter, pepperoni, and then rosemary. So
it's compound butter, but with another meat instead of an
right.
herb. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna try that.
You gotta try it on something.
I'll probably make another batch and just bring it over here. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying for Thanksgiving, if you want to do a bird, that's your deal. You can do it over here if you want to. I mean, I have an oven.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you want to come over on Thursday and you want that to be your contribution and you feel like you got to wrestle that turkey, brother, I'm just saying I got the turkey's foot off my neck. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am done.
And then luckily I come in here and be like, well, you know something. I know something about turkeys, goddamn it. I've wrestled with that bird many times.
See, and you've done it well a number of times.
Oh, yeah.
And you fry them.
Yeah.
And
fry them, roast them,
Frying is the only medium I hadn't tackled. And as open-minded as I am about new experiences, I was just like, I don't think if I take that stupid-ass bird and dunk it in oil, it's gonna blow my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like what's gonna come out is good turkey.
No, it will be good. Yeah, that's it. And I feel like turkey is just gonna be a disaster or just good, you know, because of how it is.
The highest level of attainment there is good turkey.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is that worth, sir?
Right.
What does good turkey even mean?
Right.
In comparison to all these other delicious meats.
Yeah.
You know?
But fuck turkey. Let's talk about some sides.
Okay.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Something I do good.
Yeah. This year we're going a little bonkers.
Yeah.
And this is my first year dealing with it.
Yeah. You said that the lobster mac and cheese is this year, right?
This is going to be my first foray into lobster mac and cheese. I kind of wanted to make it because I was like, I want to make this.
Lobster mac and cheese is delicious.
But also, Brie already makes better macaroni and cheese than I do.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So I was like, hey. Well, actually, she was like, what are you talking about? You're going to make macaroni and cheese. I was like, you're right. I'm not going to do that.
You know what? I tinkered
I'm going to grill the lobster tails.
Oh, shit. That is going to add another level of flavor.
So there'll be grills and smokers going either way. It's going to be a cool Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But on the smoker will be chicken wings. We could smoke several batches of chicken wings.
Fuck yeah.
In a fraction of the amount of time it takes to smoke a turkey. What's happened here?
We lost the stream. It happens.
Dang it. Anyway, smoking those chicken wings.
I've recently tweaked my mac and cheese recipe, and then I added some ranch dressing with bacon in it. It adds another level of flavor, and I used, instead of water,
like into the mix.
Yeah.
Like you mix a little bit of ranch dressing and bacon into it. I don't see where you could go wrong.
No, that's good. But then when I boil the noodles, instead of using water, I use chicken stock.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The last batch of mac and cheese that I made, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may need to pass that on.
Yeah.
For this lobster mac and cheese situation.
I'll bring some over here.
We spent a lot of time talking shit about stock and how little purpose it had. Well, what we talked about, though, on my podcast was how silly it is to make
a stock from scratch.
Because it costs $1.
Yeah.
For like a
you just go to the store and get. Yeah, and we don't live in a remote area where we're just out there fucking seeing the stars and like in the middle of fucking.
Yeah, everything we prepare this Thanksgiving won't have been caught by us.
Right, yeah.
I didn't kill the chickens, nor did I hunt the lobsters.
No.
But it will be delicious. Yeah. But the lobster mac and cheese is going to be pretty important. The grilling the lobster, though, I think is going to be a big part.
It will, because you get that smoky flavor to it, and that's going to be amazing. Yeah. Other than that, I made some pies a couple weeks ago. Instead of using regular graham cracker crust, I took golden Oreos and I got a fucking food processor.
What have you done?
I got a food processor.
Yeah.
And I got a recipe. That's all I need. A food processor and a recipe.
I have a food processor over here too. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. You take the golden Oreos and then you put them in a food processor. You process them down or whatever, and then you use that as your crust.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then you take the sweet potatoes and then you mix that up into the food processor. You pour it in there and then you fucking bake it for a little while.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was online and I came across something that was just like, you can use anything as a crust for a pie, and I was like, well, you have my attention. Go on.
You were looking for pepperonis to be involved here, so.
Yeah. How can I incorporate pepperonis into this? How can I do that?
But no, that sounds unruly, and and I think that's the one thing that isn't completely squared away is dessert, as far as the stuff I've already bought. But Brie was gonna make some kind of like pecan pie cheesecake thing, or two kinds of pies. It'll be good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in the dessert realm, especially imagine by the time we get to where we're eating desserts.
Yeah.
We'll be watching football. And
we're gonna be good regardless.
We're gonna eat a lot of food.
Yeah, we're gonna be good. What time? How much time do we have?
We've been at it for 22 minutes. I think
22 minutes.
As far as a podcast about food is concerned, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
we got room too.
We got room for that. Let's see. What else don't you like about Thanksgiving? I mean, we gotta have more than fucking just talking about food. We gotta go down the rabbit hole a little bit.
I really did go balls in on the turkey thing. I don't know. I mean, I think as far as like adults, like people our age, a lot of us have shaved Thanksgiving down.
We have.
Not like, hey, we're not all going to get together and watch our dysfunctional families all try to interact with one another.
That was a huge thing back in the day.
It was a massive thing.
That was a huge thing.
It's still the biggest travel day in the world is still the day before Thanksgiving.
That's true.
The fuck are all you people going to experience?
Yeah. It's like it's the same family that you grew up with and that you spend so much time with. Listen, they haven't changed. They have not changed at all.
I assume it's younger people, though, too, because I can remember the first time I went home for Thanksgiving after having been in the military.
Yeah.
And you're like home with all the other goobers who like were in college. So, you go to the neighborhood bar.
Yeah.
That time of year when you're in your early 20s is prime time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people, men and women, go back home during that time.
Of course.
To sow those high school oats. And maybe sow them for the third or fourth time.
Oh, yeah.
So, that explains a lot of the travel. Younger people want to go to see their
Yeah,
families.
Dad coming back home. Yeah, I can understand that. But the whole thing of...
I'm from Chicago, bro, and I love Chicago, and I love going home.
Of course.
I only enjoyed going home for Chicago, going home for Thanksgiving twice.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much
I don't know.
enough.
Being from Baltimore, I like going back home, but only in the summer. I don't really do the winters. And fuck that. Once you've grown up in that shit, you're like,
Yeah, you want to visit it?
Yeah.
You want to go back home when everyone's all miserable?
Right.
And you're like,
and that's exactly what it is. It's like, God damn it. Yeah. The last time I went there, it was cold, but it wasn't like cold. You know, it was like October-ish. So
yeah, well, I explain that to people down here all the time when I talk about, like, when it snows here, I don't mind it. Right? Because they shut everything down. I look out the window with a glass of scotch.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait a day and then go back to work the next day.
That's it.
You get a day off work.
Yeah.
But if you live in a place where it snows all the time, like along the Eastern Seaboard or in the Midwest,
nothing closes.
You have to do what you were going to do anyway, and now you've added this extra layer of dangerous driving, and just the whole entire infrastructure is another level of bullshit.
I remember one time I was back at home and it started snowing, and it was like nothing because I went to the mall and we were just shopping, and the mall was like a good 30, 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes away from where I was staying at that night. So it was like we go to the mall and it was, you know, we come out and it's like, oh shit, it's snowing. Okay, well, we got to drive back. We're just driving back, and you know,
the roads
fucking
are clear
almost whiteout conditions, but you know, you just keep going. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. Yeah, we evolved to adapt and survive in that kind of climate.
But
I
I will say though, the appreciation of that situation though is that it was a novelty for you.
Right.
You were visiting.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh look, it's nice, it's snowing. Like, oh, it's cool. Look, and I love Chicago. Looks beautiful with snow.
Oh yeah.
But the people, when it's that time of year.
Yeah.
Those are my people, and I understand, but you have to think about it from their perspective. Okay, people get up every day and they're already eating all those dicks. You got to go to work. You got to do the thing. Everybody does that wherever you live. And people who live where it snows.
Yeah, that's
an extra
shit.
dick.
Yeah, that's extra. No, that's an extra couple dicks. That's
at
dicks
least.
all over the place.
And
you know?
and it's
especially
all,
if you don't have a car and you got to take mass transit,
bro. And it's all these other potential dicks.
Yeah,
like
that's
what
a whole
if
lot
the
of
train
dicks.
breaks down? What if my car slides through an intersection and get hit by 8 people?
Yeah.
What if the fucking snow makes the where you drive through the street is too narrow and you clip somebody's window and they're standing outside? You're like, oh Jesus
Christ, no, that's a lot.
It's easily 2 extra dicks just walking out your door, right, and then just an infinite sea of potential dicks to eat that day.
Yeah, no, somebody that I know was on. They were on Facebook the other day. And they were like, I had to scrape my windshield off in the morning. I was like, I haven't had a windshield scraper in it's well over a decade.
Bro, I had one when we lived in the dorms. Because when I bought my car, my dad sent me one. Like, hey, you bought your first car. Have a windshield scraper. Yeah. And I used it once.
Yeah.
4 cars later. And it was like, holy shit, I have this thing.
I told her, I was like, dude, if I saw that shit, I would have went back in my fucking apartment and I would have went back to bed. Fuck everything. It's canceled for that day. I'm not dealing with this shit. No, fuck that. No. I've scraped plenty of windshields before. And then if you're in a rush, what are you going to do? You're going to scrape the driver's side windshield and then hope for the best on the passenger side.
Of course you are.
You know?
Of course you are.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass, dude.
There's just no getting around it.
It is a pain in the ass.
As far as the infrastructure is concerned, it needs to just be a street. And sometimes it's cool if it's wet. Yeah. But otherwise, like, now especially if you're talking about it in a big city, essentially you've taken the sidewalks now, and even when they're cleared, you've moved them in 3 feet closer to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's still all the same amount of people.
Yeah, so it's all have to crammed into that fucking
do all the same shit. This already wasn't a fucking well-oiled machine in July.
Fuck no.
Right? This is all still just a pit of super pissed off, angry drivers. Fucking trying to just get down the street without bumping into each other. And now it's fucking the expert level.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's expert level.
And then who wants to deal with that shit? You know, who wants to? We are lucky.
No,
we are fucking lucky.
When it's cold out here, I regularly, the only thing I ever complain about when it's cold down here is I'm like, I wish it was snow so it's not cold for no reason. But really, when I say I wish it would snow, I also mean because I want them to shut all this shit down for a couple days. Because that's what comes out the other end of that.
That is. It is.
You get
even
like
when
a
it's
nice
the threat of snow, they're like, "Oh, well, everything is closed."
And I
immediately.
agree.
And I'm like,
I
"Okay,
agree.
cool.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
better
All
be
right.
prepared for this.
I'm not gonna argue with that at all.
Yeah, why? But don't spend the money keeping all this shit
No,
moving around.
close all that shit.
Everybody will be fine for a day.
Yeah.
It's a day.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Even when years ago when we had that big ice storm, quote unquote, where shit was closed down for a couple days.
Yeah.
It wasn't like mass, deaths.
No.
Things still came
What it was, even
back
that
in
deal,
there.
in Atlanta where it was like
Oh,
snowpocalypse.
yeah, those fucking guys.
What
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
was mass inconvenience.
Do you know the reason why that happened is because everybody wanted to blame the city of Atlanta, but the city of Atlanta was like, look, we take care of the roads within the city of Atlanta. We don't take care of the highways. That's the state. And it was this big ass dick measuring contest between the state and and like the mayor's office of Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Pretty much, if anybody who's outside of Atlanta, the weather front came through and it was ice and snow on I-75 that went up through Atlanta.
In the people in Atlanta's defense, real quick before we get into this,
Yeah.
a lot of the thing a lot of people will remember is people like Jon Stewart and all those people making fun of them
Right.
because 2 inches of snow shut everything down. What really happened was there was an inch thick sheet of ice.
Yeah, like
on
it was pretty serious.
everything.
Yeah.
And no infrastructure to
None.
deal with it.
Right.
And no one mobilized any of it.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue. So a lot of people got stranded on I-75 because nothing was moving, because everybody freaked out because we don't get weather like that down here in the South that much. That severe.
And they let 3.5 million people off of work all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they could have prepared ahead for it in
Yeah,
some
yeah,
respects.
yeah.
But they let everyone off work all at the
and
same
then
time.
we've been down here since 2002, and there's never been a real, a real
like a blizzard
plan
or
or something like that
yeah,
to
no,
take
there's
care of
no-
things like that.
yeah.
The only thing they have is, look, everybody stay inside.
And
We're gonna
wait.
shut down everything.
Yeah, because in a day or so it'll
Yeah,
pass.
yeah.
And it did in that case. But the
Yeah,
problem
that's
was that
true.
shit descended quickly.
It did.
They didn't send anybody home because, as you know, when you live down here, freezing the window over there.
Yeah,
And
but-
as you know too, though, when they do decide to shut shit down, it's usually a precautionary measure. Everyone jokes about it, and they go home and they drink and they don't go to work the next day.
Right.
This was a serious fucking winter storm
Yeah.
that was on its way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they knew about
Everybody was
it.
like, oh, well.
And everybody was like, nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
And then all of a sudden at 2:00 in the afternoon, they let 3.5 million people off of work
And then by the time that happened, it was
onto
like,
a skating
hey,
rink.
man, maybe we should put the guys in our 2 snowplows that we have and then throw some snow.
Before
throw some
this,
salt
a little
on
bit
it.
of salt, maybe.
Yeah, before
No.
that. And then by the time it happened, it was like, maybe we should put the snowplows out there. But like, well, we could, but the highway is clogged now, so...
You know
We're
the thought
fucked.
was, let's get everybody home, and then we'll solve the highways.
Which is backwards. Honestly, it's completely
Of course.
backwards.
It's the middle of the
Completely
fucking day. What are these guys doing? At 8
Yeah.
o'clock, you could have started like, oh shit, we're gonna let everybody off of work at
Yeah.
2:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
Better lay
Let's
all this
get this
ice
shit
down
out right now.
Get all this salt down.
Right.
Fucking start chunking up some of this ice.
Yeah.
Closing some roads. Moving traffic in one direction. No, it was literally like The Walking Dead up there.
Yeah,
Which takes
it
place
was
up there.
Yeah,
And
right,
made for
right,
some hysterical
right. No,
memes.
people legitimately left their cars and then was walking up the fucking highway in an ice storm on a sheet of ice, and they were trying to get the hotels and all this shit. And it was crazy.
Everyone.
It was crazy.
Everyone in that area of the country has a story about having let a family sleep in their house.
Yeah.
Or like, I worked at Walmart and we just let everybody in. You know,
Yeah.
Walmart's, Home Depots are just full of families sleeping on the floors
Yeah.
like it was fucking Katrina.
Yeah.
Because it snowed a little bit.
Because it snowed a little bit. Yeah.
Although I will say, everybody got off pretty good.
Yeah.
Nobody died statistically. I'm sure
Right,
a few people
right,
did,
yeah.
but a few people die when it rains.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's good for us though living here in that now there's snake bit, and so
Yeah.
if it's gonna be too cold tomorrow,
Yeah, right.
we might not have to go to work.
Right, we might not, yeah, because everybody's scared shitless now because they don't want to repeat that.
Absolutely.
Because the one thing that politicians don't like to do is get caught with their pants down,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively. Yeah.
It's funny though that it happens all the time.
It does happen a lot. It does happen a lot. Yeah, hey, you know what? And I saw something the other day where a woman was just.
Oh, you're at 34 minutes, by the way.
Okay, yeah, this ain't gonna take long. But yeah, a woman was recently voted into Congress or the Senate or something, and they were like, "Well, she's the first bisexual member of the Senate." And I was like, I said this on Facebook. I was like, if you think that she's the first bisexual member of Congress, Congress in entirety, then you're stupid. Because there's been plenty of times,
of course,
where a politician that is either in the House or the Senate or some part of Congress in general has been caught. And it's normally the people that go extra hard against the whole LGBTQ movement.
Of course.
Yeah. That's just how it is. That's why people who are. That's why people say
some House of Representatives guy from Alabama gets caught smoking meth,
and that's why people say, well, if they're going that extra hard about it, then they're probably part of it, and it's true. So
it's absolutely true.
It is. Yeah, it is. So I don't even know why they even made that like it was some history or something. If they had said openly bisexual, cool, okay, but they didn't even say that. It was just like, this is the first member in the history of the United States of America that is bisexual that served in Congress, and I was like, what the fuck are you definitely, are you crazy?
You definitely got to qualify that with openly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How did that go past the editor and all that shit?
How many people are in the House of Representatives? 20% of them are bisexual.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Yeah.
At a minimum, 20% of them are pretending to be straight.
This is not even, we're not even bullshitting here. This is
facts.
This is facts. Yeah, this is reality. You're lobbing this shit up.
Yeah.
No. This is real.
All they had to do was write openly.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And they fucking negated that, and I was just
this
like,
for another hour.
Of course, yeah. I mean, jeez, come on. We get political when we make fun of the political system. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, we're not gonna we're not trying to start a damn revolt in America. But
no, I don't want any parts of that. It sounds like a lot of work. But definitely when they say some crazy shit,
shit like that, man.
Yeah.
It's like
being bisexual isn't a religion,
right?
It's not on a driver's license.
No, it's not. No,
like this is the first person in Congress who ever liked to have sex with the same kind of sex they are.
Right. Like, wow, really?
What?
No way.
Is this the first one that like to have sex with the same sex they are who are also adults?
Yeah, what are you getting at here? Because your title is just so
she's the first
stupid. Yeah.
She's the first non-pedophile.
But no, even if you're out there and you hear this and you're like one of the few people who don't know this, do your research, because there's been plenty of times we've been like, Senator so-and-so was caught in this motel off the highway with the same sex, partner or some shit. It happens all the time.
Trans community took a big hit on that too, in my opinion. I think in some respects is that like they would catch some senator getting a blowjob from a dude who was definitely a dude, maybe not even in a dress.
Yeah.
And then for years before the internet, they would just be like, oh, well, it was a dude in a dress.
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah. You can't get away from that now.
See, I think in some respects, maybe the trans community had to take a hit there from the media when it was spun the other way when it comes out of that guy's office.
Right.
But you got to think back then, waters are allegedly a little bit more murky. But I think we can all agree that a dude in a dress, is not, when it comes to that, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. No, we're not downing anybody,
no. But I'm just saying that the nuts and bolts of it, especially if you're one of these people who's like all super anti dudes blowing each other.
Yeah. And then you turn around and do that shit, right?
The fact that he was wearing a dress seems pretty insignificant.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't care.
Vitriol you've been fighting that cause.
Right. Yeah, either way, you're a fucking douchebag, because all these guys have families and shit. Yeah. And then, they always have the press conference where the wife is standing there and she's fucking looking down the whole time. And
of course.
I didn't know, I just strayed away from my vows. This is not something that happens often.
All the values being a senator from Alabama.
Yeah, I still am for the people, and I'm still for the Lord Christ. It's not something that happens often. I'm like,
My
come on,
constituency
man.
here in
Come
Louisiana
on.
understand.
You want us to believe that one day you just got up one day and was like, you know what? I want to get my dick sucked by a man in a dress. Like, come on. No, that's not the first time you've done it, motherfucker. No. It's fine if you want to do it. Have the balls to come out and be like, I got caught doing it. This is it. And if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Well, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and the lesson there to be learned, too, is that when you were a child and you were growing up and you were clearly gay, may have been the time to say something about it before you had, 6 kids and, lied to a bazillion people and got to this podium moment. Yeah. Maybe you should have had. Maybe that's where your.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. But whatever. I think that
we all make mistakes. Hey, I would like to point out too, though, just to toot my own horn. I think my episode is a little bit more of a timeless Thanksgiving classic than this one. Because we're at 40 minutes, and the last 10 minutes have been dark.
Yeah. We tried. I tried to stay on the holiday thing with Thanksgiving, and then it goes from turkey to sides to dudes getting blown by other dudes in Congress.
Trying to wrap it up.
This is Pod Caviar in a nutshell. If this is your first time listening to a Pod Caviar episode, they're all like this. They all like this.
Yeah.
I just reel people in. I just cast that fucking thing out there like, hey, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Just reel you in, and I pull you up out of the water like dudes are getting sucked up by other dudes in Congress, and they're trying to make sure that you don't think that it happens often.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, hey, you know what? Pod Caviar, thank you for listening. It's awesome.
All right. We gotta wrap this up.
Woo, sure. Yeah. 443-747-1417 is the number to get in touch with Pod Caviar. If you have a problem with anything that happened with this episode or any other past episodes, if you have a suggestion or something that you just have to get off your chest, 443-747-1417. You can call that number. You can text that number. You can get in touch with Pod Caviar. Listen, we screen everything, and then if it's interesting enough, we will put it on air, and then we'll talk about it. So, I mean, that's what it is.
I don't know if I want to plug my podcast at the end of this one.
I'm going to do 1 Gram Army. 1 Gram Army is Graham's podcast. Yeah.
It's just as unrestricted. I was going to say bad, but that's not fair.
Oh, it's not bad at all. No, we make masterpieces week in and week out.
Absolutely.
And, it is unrestricted and slippery slope.
And if you're listening to this podcast to avoid your friends and family, guess what? It's time to pop out those earbuds and get back to work, folks.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But I've been Tony. This has been Graham. This has been another great episode of Pod Caviar. Thank you for listening, and we are out.